2 million people in uniform. Right now, today, that is the active army of a single country. It is China, and no force on earth comes close. China keeps about 2 million troops under arms. It is the largest standing military in the world. That is more soldiers than the United States and Russia can field together. One nation outnumbering the next two giants combined. Now, look at the map, and a small club appears. Only 5 countries field more than 1 million active troops each. Everyone else, the entire rest of the world, sits far below them. Second place belongs to India, with about 1.5 million active soldiers. 2 of the world's giants now glare at each other across one tense border. Nearly every great army on earth is gathered here in Asia. Now, here is the surprise. The United States comes third, at about 1.3 million in uniform. America spends more on its military than anyone else alive. Yet it does not field the most bodies. It buys machines and reach, not the biggest crowd. But the real shock is North Korea. It keeps about 1.25 million people under arms. And it does that from a nation of just 26 million. Nearly 1 in 20 citizens wears a uniform. Nowhere else on earth arms its own people so heavily. Then comes Russia, with around 1.25 million active troops of its own. And that number is climbing fast. Moscow has ordered its army to grow toward 1.5 million. It would be the biggest military expansion in a generation. Now, step past those 5, and the floor drops away. The 6th largest army on earth does not even reach 700,000. The gap between the giants and everyone else is staggering. That 6th place now goes to Ukraine, fielding about 677,000 active personnel. A country at war has swelled its forces to survive. 3 years ago, this army was less than half that size. Just behind sits Pakistan, with around 660,000 troops. It stands between 2 nuclear neighbors, so it keeps one of the largest armies on earth ready at all times. Then Iran, with roughly 610,000 under arms. Much of that force sits outside the regular army. It belongs to the Revolutionary Guard, loyal to the state itself. Now, look at the line between the 2 Koreas. South Korea keeps about 450,000 active troops. It faces a northern neighbor with nearly 3 times as many. So almost every young man must serve, cross into the southern half of the world, and the armies shrink. Brazil, the giant of South America, fields only about 375,000 troops. A vast and peaceful country simply does not need a vast army. Now, step back and look at the whole board. The biggest army is not the strongest army. America spends more than the next 10 countries combined, while China simply fields more people. Money is one kind of power, sheer numbers are another. So the country with the most boots on the ground is China, with about 2 million of them. But a map of armies is really a map of fear. The biggest forces gather where the borders are tensest, and the memory of war is closest. Strength in numbers, it turns out, is mostly a measure of worry.